Good morning. Everybody got quiet. So as you are coming in this morning, feel free. We are starting a new unit. We are starting unit 3 this week. So as we get ourselves all collected, there's 27 of us, so we're going to still wait for others to come in. There is a game I'd like you to play, right? Just to practice the vocabulary words for this unit, and kind of it gives me some data points as to what you know about cells prior to coming into unit 3. What do you know about cells? We're going to start learning about cells today, and this is going to give us our first data point.
They're all coming off.
I would love to do. I would love to do that.
Yeah, so cells, like Ari said, they make up everything really. They're the smallest living thing, as we know it. They're like the smallest living thing. Since the smallest non-living thing is atoms and stuff, but the smallest living thing is cells, which literally make up everything, like Ari said again.
Good. Awesome. So are you able, guys, to go to this link? I would love everyone to go to the game link. Yes. Thank you, Lexi, for putting that in chat as well.
Same here. Also, my Elsie said hi.
Oh, good morning. Good morning to everybody.
Yeah, she was showing me something. It was just a full moon, so yeah.
The moon was out last night. It was beautiful. You could also see Jupiter last night. We're supposed to have warmer weather this week, which makes me happy. There we go. It asks for your name. You can put in whatever name you want. My lighting is hard today with that sun coming in. Thank you. Yep, just put an identifiable name in there. It doesn't have to be super fancy. Yep, go ahead and start the game now. It's kind of like a pre-game warm-up or pre-class warm-up, even though we are officially in class time. We'll go ahead and give you a couple minutes to do that, because I think it's really important to go through what we know before we get started. It looks like there's 3 of you playing, or that have played. Now 5. It'll also show you who is got the top score. So that's kind of a fun competitive thing too. Looks like Caden's in there, Kyra's in there, Kaylee's in there, Leah's in there, Peyton's in there. It's a fun little Pac-Man game. So use the link either up here on the board or the link in the chat. And let's make sure that's what everybody is doing right now. keep track of your top score. I'd like to know what your top score is. Still only seeing those 5 students with scores. So if you're doing something else right now, make sure you stop doing what you're doing and pop into this game link. It's fun. It says you're in Aria. I believe you. I believe you. It'll update my results here in a minute. I just haven't clicked them again. There's Aria and Justin. Awesome. Make sure everybody's in our link, playing our game. It is our Monday morning warm up. I kind of like having something fun to do on Mondays. And we're kind of sad that the weekend's over, or at least I am. We had a busy weekend. I want to hear about your weekends when we're done playing with this game. So let me know when you've at least played one round. I want a green check when you've played at least one round of our word wall game today. That's all right. You were there. You showed up, Ireland. There's 11 of you in there. Ireland and Kai, Faith, both Cadens and Peyton and Justin and Ariana, Aaliyah, Kaylee, Kyra. You're all in there doing it. There are 15 of you that said you played the game, but my results are not telling me that there are 15 of you that there's telling me that 11 of you have taken it. So make sure you're being honest. I have data points, so don't just give me a green check until that's okay. You don't have to be good, I promise. It collects all of the data for anyone who plays, so make sure that you are getting in there and playing this game. Yeah, I'd like you to play the game. It's fun. It's a fun thing. It's also kind of just like a pre-test to cells. All right, that's why we're taking some pre-class time today and even class time today to do it. Because what this does, thank you, Samara and Candace, JC. What this is going to do is it's going to give us some information on what you do know about cells coming into it. Games are fun. Your link, yep, it's on the board and I'll put it back in chat too. I got to unclick off of this. Why will it not? I think can you use the link on the board? It's not letting me do it, I think, because I have the polling tool up. If you click on it right here, I'm moving it around. That will take you to the game. Awesome. Just do one round of it if you don't love it. If you are competitive like me and are trying to beat your score, feel free to do it more than once. We're up to 18 of us. I don't know if my odds are good, though. 18 out of 64. I guess 63 of you. 18 out of 63, that's not good. Yes. Here we go, Kane. So we don't have a lot of graded assignments in this class because I just would like you to do things like this. But if I need to make some of these things like mandatory for points, I guess we can do that. Because it makes me a little bit sad that we don't have more of you playing this today. So we'll just go ahead and end this, and I will just take a different route tomorrow, I guess, with what we do in class. All right. Well, before we start, let's start on a happier note because that does not make me happy. That makes me sad. Let's go ahead and meet one of our classmates this morning. Peyton, are you in class and would you like to introduce yourself today? I have your introduction slide that you made. I'm going to throw it up here on the board. Oh, let me make it bigger. There we go. I'm trying to make it proportional. All right, Peyton, are you in?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah,
Would you like to get on the microphone and introduce yourself to us?
Yeah. I don't know how to start out. I'll just start out with my favorite color. My favorite colors are pastel blue and dark gray. My favorite flower is white roses. And I can't see. Okay. My favorite animal is cows. I absolutely love cows. I have cows everywhere. Yeah, it's pretty much good. It's just hard sometimes. I like to go to derbies for fun and truck meets. I've gone to maybe about 12 truck meets this year.
Okay, so you have to explain to me, what is a truck meet?
So basically it's a bunch of like trucks. People just go and take their vehicles and trucks to a certain area and everyone just goes and looks at them and sees how cool they are.
Awesome. So you don't just, it's like cool trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically it goes from like old trucks to like new trucks.
Almost like a car show, but like a truck show.
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool.
I work on trucks sometimes. Sometimes I work on semis and cars.
Oh my word.
It's fun.
It's so impressive. I am so impressed.
I like riding four-wheelers. That's fun. Up there in the corner is my best friend Harley. We actually do a lot together. It's fun to hang out with her.
Does she live on a farm too?
No, she well, I guess you can say that she does, but necessarily she's like trying to buy a new house, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she actually just turned 18, so.
Cool.
And then there's my boyfriend, Kylan, at the bottom.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I spend a lot of time with him, so.
So does he help you work on trucks and take care of the cows?
He's actually a mechanic.
Oh, cool.
He's graduating this year to be a mechanic.
Wow. So you guys have a lot of common interests. So tell
Yeah.
me, what do you want to do when you graduate? Do you want to work on trucks?
I either want to be a mechanic or a welder.
So what, like
Yeah.
welding parts?
Yeah, basically just a whole bunch of metal and stuff. It's fun.
I'm super duper impressed. And do you
And-
guys have a lot of cows?
Well, I used to work for my mom's friend down in the down the street, and she had a lot of cows, so I would help take care of them.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
We have a teacher that'll pop in and out. She's going to help with like getting us ready for our biology end of course exam. Her name is Mrs. Sheets, and she has a farm and tons of animals, and she is so fun to talk to. In the spring, she's always out like helping deliver cows or goats or whatever. It's so, I feel like
it's like fun to take care of them.
Yeah, it's a big job.
In the photos of me, the truck, that's the truck that my boyfriend and I have been working on.
This truck over here?
Yeah.
Or over here?
It's both.
It's the same one. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do? You fix it, or do you just like soup it up, or?
We fix it and make it look nice, basically. So in the picture with that says working on trucks, we that's when we were fixing the oil pan because it had a huge leak. Wow. So we were fixing it. And then so we changed the headlights on it too while we were doing that.
I am so impressed. I know very little about my car. Where do you live?
Oh, I live in a small town called New Madison. It's near Greenville.
Hey, we're so close. I'm in Piqua.
Yeah, I actually go to Piqua a lot, so that's funny.
Oh my goodness. So if I need an oil change, I'll be like, hey, Peyton, I need help over here.
I actually do my parents sometimes. I do their oil change.
That would be a great job.
It's honestly fun because like when you're doing different, like trying to take care of like trucks and stuff and vehicles, it's interesting the way some of them work.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Oh my gosh. You guys tell Peyton how much we love her and how interesting it is to hear more about her life. I want to go ride 4-wheelers with her. Maybe if you're at my testing site, I'll have to bring you some white roses. I know all about you. I love it. Did I know that you live in Ohio? I really want to believe that Ireland lives in Ireland. It seems like pretty epic. Everyone, thank Peyton for sharing. I really like hearing your voice too, Peyton. You'll have to volunteer to take over class some days. Read and be my little helper too. Seriously. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. We, again, for those of you who are just joining us, are a phone number on the screen. No, down here, this is a link to a game that we played at the beginning of the class. So if you haven't...
Yeah, it just looked weird because it got cut off.
Yep, it just got hidden underneath the photo when I brought the photo in. If you have not taken that, I'm going to go ask you to take that link with you and do that at least one time today. It's going to give me some data on what you know about cells going into this unit. It's kind of fun. It has a leaderboard. So if you have not done that yet, make sure you get that link before you go today. There are 69 of you in here, and not even 20 of us have played. So make sure you play that game, all right? It's a more fun way than giving you a quiz, if that makes sense, all right? I could just give you a quiz, But I think it's more fun to play games. So some mornings we're going to play games instead. So again, this is our Class Connect session. We're going to have a fun week. We're going to do some new activities this week that we haven't done. I've got my hair pulled back in a ponytail. Feeling super cash today. I know, I didn't get my hair cut. I'm just being lazy on a Monday. Thanks. So we played that game today. No quiz today. We'll have one quiz on Tuesday. All right. So those of you who like to look ahead. And then we are going to talk a little bit this week about a super fun cell project that we're going to do this unit. So we are not going to. Sorry, I'm distracted. Okay, sorry, I was just distracted by chat. We are going to do a project this unit. It's not going to have a due date till the end of the unit, so don't stress about it, but it's going to be super fun. It's one of my favorite projects of the whole year. So stay tuned to that little teaser as we have the unveiling of that project coming up soon. So one quiz coming up this week, and we're diving into Unit 3 about cells, all right? So we're going to learn about cells today. Who wants to pop on the mic and read our goals for today?
I guess Ireland will, because she beat me to it.
I didn't realize some people do have the day off. It is kind of a bummer, right? I'm with you. I'm okay with that. You can be mad. All right. Ireland's going to tell us what's up today. Ireland, pop on your mic. Tell us what we're gonna do.
When you said what's up, I really wanted to say the ceiling or the sky. But anyway, state the parts of the cell theory. List the level of organization within a multicellular organism. What is the highest level of cellular organization? How is a eukaryotic?
Yes, eukaryotic. Good.
Different from a prokaryotic cell?
Perfect. Seriously. Spoken like a professional right there. Those are some funky words, right? Eukaryotic and prokaryotic. So if I asked you right now what the cell theory is, could anybody tell me? Give me a green check for yes, red X for no. Cell theory.
What was the question you asked? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
If I asked you right now what the cell theory is, could you tell me? And if you could tell me, would you be brave enough to type it in chat? To be
honest, Nero cut me off. To be completely honest, I'm like, I actually don't know what really cell theory is. I felt like I once knew, like Ireland said, but then I just forgot. So I'm just being honest. I don't really know.
No, that's fine. That's why we're here today. Does anyone who thinks they know want to put it in chat? Zero pressure, but kind of pressure. Yes, Lexi. Good. She does know. Yes. All right, we'll come back to that because I want to teach that, but that is perfect. All right, what about the next? Could you list the level of organization within a multicellular organism and tell me which has the highest level of organization? It's a lot of organization words. Could you talk to me about the level of organization within an organism? I'm telling you, most of you actually probably could. Yes, Justin. I'm pretty sure Justin is like a biology professional. What do you think? I think most of you could actually do this. You'll be surprised by this one. I bet most of you would change your vote. Last but not least, Could you tell me what a eukaryotic cell is and what a prokaryotic cell is? Good, Pip. You're right, Justin. You're on to it. Yep, you're right, Pip. Yep, you're correct in your thinking. Good. What I love about this is whether you checked green check or red X, we are using our brains right now to kind of filter through information. Have you ever looked for something? Probably, right? Have you ever looked for something that you know you have, but you can't find? Like my car keys, right? You're like, I know I have them, but I'm getting ready to leave and I can't find it. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're doing in the beginning of these lessons when we spend time on these goal slides, when we spend time on those games like we did pre-class, is we are filtering through our brains for things that we may already have, we might know we have, but we can't find, okay? And doing that is super important because it engages our brain before we start learning. So that's why we do it. I don't do it just to be obnoxious or to collect data or to make you feel like you're 5. All right. I like to know why I do things. And so that's why I explain myself. 2 leaks in the kitchen. Yes, Justin, you're right on. So cells, we've talked about them a little bit. All right. They are little. All right. They are the smallest living thing. What is the smallest thing ever? Not the smallest living thing, the smallest non-living thing. Yes. Everybody type atoms. Even if you don't know it and you're woke up on Monday and you're like, oh yeah, that was last unit, right? Right. Atoms are the smallest non-living thing. Cells are the smallest living thing. And I love to think about them as like little Legos. Okay. Because when you take a Lego in itself, it is functional, right? You can use it for things. But when you take Legos and put them together with, I want to say precision. I don't know if that's the right word. With intention, you can make really big, great, complex things. All right. And it's like that with our cells. One cell by itself is a living thing. It's a unicellular organism, and we have lots of very small unicellular organisms. Can you see unicellular organisms without a microscope? What do you think? Yes or no? Nope. You're right. You need a microscope to see unicellular organisms. All right. What about multicellular organisms? Do you need a microscope to see them? Well, maybe some very small ones, but things like yourself, all right, and lots of other multicellular organisms, you do not need a microscope to see. The cells have multiple jobs, right? We talked about energy. Where do we get energy from? Our cells make energy from molecules that come into them. Yep, from food. And what's one of those 4 organic molecules? Yes, from glucose, but from lipids, fats, proteins, or carbs. Where do we get our main source of energy from? What do our cells use to break down to make energy? Good. I'm seeing both carbs and fats, and you're both right. Carbs are our first immediate source. It's the preferred source. It's the fast source. Good. And fats are our backup resource. When we are not feeding our body enough carbs, our body goes into those fats. Perfect. So our cells' main jobs are to make energy, which we need those carbohydrates for, to make proteins, which we need protein for, right? And to make more cells, all right, for growth and for damaged cells. Which brings us to our cell theory, all right? Our cell theory, this sounds very complex. If I told you I was going to teach you a theory today, you might be like, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to remember it all? All right, but this is what it is. Are you ready? All cells come from, say cells. Yes.
From other cells.
Yes. That's as complex as it is. But it's a very important truth, a very, very important cellular truth for everything going forward. But that's exactly it. All cells, I want you to type it, all cells come from cells. Meaning I cannot go into my kitchen right now and pull out some sugar and flour and dish soap and baking soda and make a cell. I cannot make a cell. I cannot fabricate a cell. A cell always has to come from what, guys? Other cells. They really do. So just like other humans come from humans, right? I'm pretty sure Peyton hasn't seen a cow give the offspring of a human baby. How weird would that be? All right. Cells only come from cells. And like I said, that may seem simple. That may seem stupid. But that is a very important biological finding that is important as things get more difficult. As we start looking at things like, where did life come from? Where do things evolve from? As we start looking into questions like that further down the road, we need to know that cells only come from cells. You can't make them. Life only begins with life. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. So what element do you think you most often find in cells? Anybody remember? What element? Yes. Yes. Carbon, right? We talked about all organic things that were living or once living have that element of carbon in them. Thank you for remembering that from Unit 2. Yep, hydrogen is an important one too. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about what Justin did remember when we were talking about that very first slide. Is I said that most of you know about organization, okay? So cells are right here. Behind the cell, we have what we call these organelles. All right, organelles are what are like mini parts of cells. So if we were talking about Peyton's truck, she talked about there being a hole in her oil pan. All right, she talked about like the headlights. Like the important parts of a car would be the organelles for a cell. Right? Like the engine would be important for a truck. What else would be an important part of a truck? Oh, yes, Arlen, those are good. The wheels. Good. The gas, the engine, the brakes. I would say the steering wheel. Transmission. Right? All of those things. Good. Tailpipe, the metal. Yes. All of those things that help make up the truck are important. It doesn't function without them. All right, so that means without the atom making up those 4 molecules that we talked about, those 4 macromolecules, lipids, nucleic acids, proteins, and carbs, we need those molecules to make up the parts of the cell, the organelles of the cell, to get our basic unit of life. All right? So our cells make up tissues. All right? So if you would open up your arm, all right? If we did a little dissection today on your forearm and cut it open, you would see what we call tissue. All right? That's going to be long, stringy fibers. They're almost paper-like fibers that are in your arm. That's your tissue. All right? When you get a cut, it is cutting your tissue. All right? That's what you cut through. All right? Our tissue comes together to also make up a bigger part of our body. So cells work together to make tissues. Tissues make organs. Name me an organ. Oh, I'm sorry, Jesse. That is a big surgery. Heart surgery, livers, kidneys. Good. What about your spleen? What about your stomach? Gallbladder, brain, skin. What about like your intestines? Right? You need your intestines there. Your lungs. All right, those are all organs. Organs work together to make up what? Organ systems. Do you know any of the organ systems? Good, the digestive system. So let's talk about just the digestive system. Yeah, see, I knew you guys would know this one. The digestive system. Let's talk about the organs that make up the digestive system. What organs make up the digestive system? Your intestines, stomach, your liver, your esophagus, pancreas. What about your mouth? Right? All starts up here. Good. So we have organ systems that make up organisms. All right. And organisms are animals and plants, whole beings like ourselves. Right? So just name an organism. Yes. Good. Humans, dogs, cats, deer, plants. Good. Oh my goodness, class has gone so fast today. We got to do one more thing. All right, everybody type nucleus. Nucleus.
Nucleus.
Nucleus. All right, so that is the biggest difference between a eukaryotic cell and a prokaryotic cell. All right, also, I want to teach you a trick. Which cell are you made out of? Which cell are you made out of? A eukaryotic cell or a prokaryotic cell? You are made out of a eukaryotic cell. All right? You are made out of a eukaryotic cell. Your cells have nucleuses. They have membrane-bound organelles, which we'll talk about what that means later. But that it means, remember that when we talked about lipids making the cell membrane? all of our little organelles in here in a eukaryotic cell have one of those little membranes around it. All right? Eukaryotic cells are more complex. Prokaryotic cells are simple. Everybody take your arrow. Let me see your arrow. All right?
We don't have tools.
Well, fine. Here we go. You did,
Now
yeah.
we have.
Everybody point at the eukaryotic cell. The eukaryotic cell has a nucleus, which is like a brain. All right? It has a nucleus, and it is complex. Now everybody point at the prokaryotic cell. This guy over here, he's simple. That's what I want you to think about when you think about prokaryotic cells. It's super simple. It has no nucleus, and it's just a simple little, often unicellular organism. Okay? So everybody put your pointer at the bottom. I want you to point to the eukaryotic or prokaryotic. Which one has a nucleus? Has a nucleus. Yeah, the arrow dance. All right, arrows down. No. But that's a good thought, Ireland. Which one of these cells is the most simple? Just a simple cell. Yeah, we're doing the prokaryotic dance.
All right. Arrows down!
I don't think, actually, now you're thought-provoking me, Ireland. Let me look into that. Bacteria are an example of a prokaryotic cell. So your prokaryotic cells, like bacteria, can come into a multicellular organism like us, right? Like we get sick from bacteria cells invading our body. But they don't necessarily, like this whole cell doesn't necessarily get into this whole cell. But we are going to talk about how bacteria and viruses make us sick and how that happens, if that makes sense. All right. We're coming back to this tomorrow. I want you to tell
I
me
actually have a bit of a question.
the differences of this for tomorrow. Yes, go for it, Pip.
I was just curious. I know it's a painfully obvious question, but besides eukaryotics we have, could it theoretically be possible, like, I know we have bacteria in us that are friendly and all. Are those bacteria, the friendly bacteria,
Yes.
eukaryotic or, like, prokaryotic? I was just wondering.
If they're bacteria, they're prokaryotic. But yes, they are friendly. If they live in us, they are friendly. Otherwise, our body would get rid of them.
Oh, all right. I was just curious.
Could you tell me the cell theory, Pip?
Yeah.
What is the cell theory class?
I'm gonna scroll up, see if I can find it. Cell theory. All cells come from.
You don't even need to scroll. All cells come from where?
Other cells.
Yes, good. Could you tell me the levels of cellular organization? This is cells make up tissues. Tissues make up.
Tissues make up. Organs. Sorry,
organs make up
hello?
organ.
Sorry, my mic cut off. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up organ system, and an organ system makes up an organism.
Yes, good. So yes, we accomplished this goal. And you just proved to me, but somebody tell me with your arrows and in chat, how is a eukaryotic cell different from a
eukaryotic? Eukaryotics have a nucleus, and they are basically literally everywhere in our bodies as we speak. They have a membrane as well. And the prokaryotics don't have a nucleus, and they're mainly bacteria.
All right, so everybody tap yes over here. We definitely accomplished our goal today, and we had fun. We played a game. We got to know Peyton. What are you going to do next? Well, if you would like this PowerPoint, you can find it in the lessons. I can't transfer it to you like I used to in Blackboard. What are you going to do today? You're not going to take a quiz, but if you would like to read the lessons, please go in and read 3.01 and 3.02. That will reinforce what we did today. You have no quiz. I will see you back here tomorrow morning. We're going to play another game, all right? And we are going to go over some more information on what cells are. Justin, you are on top of it. Have a great day, guys.